Let's give a big round of applause to Edgar Wright for making this film. Edgar Wright, you got to be commended, my man. This was a game changer. What is up, my fellow movie lovers, and welcome back to the Luke Ponto channel. Thank you guys so much for coming and clicking on the thumbnail. Let's get another movie review out of the way, which we are going to be talking about Last Night in Soho. You guys do not even know how much I even wanted to talk about Last Night in Soho. But I missed it in theaters, so I rented it on iTunes for $20 because I wanted to watch this film really, really badly. You guys do not know. So this film was written and directed by Edgar Wright, who brought you films like Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz and The World's End. And it stars the likes of Thomasin, McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Matt Smith. This movie follows a girl named Ellie, played here by Thomasin McKenzie, who is an aspiring fashion designer that is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters a dazzling wannabe singer named Sandy, played here by Anya Taylor-Joy. But the glamour is not all it appears to be, and the dreams of the past are starting to crack and splinter into something darker. So like I said, I missed this film in theaters because, work was busy with me and, I couldn't find any friends to go see this film with. So I went ahead and rented this film on iTunes to give it a chance because I really wanted to see this film. You guys have no idea how bad I wanted to see this movie. I was fighting tooth and nail to see this movie, but I just didn't get around to seeing it in theaters. Until like a few days ago, I rented it from iTunes, like I said, and watched it. You guys do not even know how much this film blew my mind. Last Night in Soho, I'm sorry the Suicide Squad, but you've gotten beaten out by Last Night in Soho because Last Night in Soho has officially taken the top spot of being my favorite film of 2021. It's also kind of the same. It's also the same as Jennifer Vegas, so shout out to you, Jennifer. You really got me to watch this movie because Last Night in Soho is another fantastic film made from Edgar Wright himself. Edgar Wright directs this film with so much energy behind it. Like, you can tell, like, how hard he put this work into with this movie. Like, especially with those, like, reflection shots where you see Anya Taylor-Joy in the 60s and then Thomasin McKenzie in modern day. That is quite impressive. Like, Edgar Wright does not fail to impress me. Like, with any of the films that he makes. Like, he never fails to impress me. Like, not one bit. He never, ever fails to me. I love the direction of this film. The style that it has with the film. Especially like those like little light styles of the film. And also, dude, this film's production design screams the 1960s. Looking at the 1960s style of this film, when eventually Thomasin McKenzie goes in to the 1960s, I was blown away, especially seeing like that Thunderball poster like up on the top, which you clearly see in the trailer. That's not really a spoiler. You see that in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, like I said. But when you see that, I'm like, Edgar Wright really captured the 1960s, and I think to myself, wow, he actually pulled this off. And I really have to commend Edgar Wright for actually doing something a little bit different with this type of film. Like, he knows, I really feel like he has a love for the 1960s, if I'm being honest. Like, with those like the types of like time period type of movies, I really feel like he has a love for that type of thing. And I really have to commend him for that. This movie was just directed so well. But I really got to touch on some of these eccentric performances really quick. Especially from Thomasin McKenzie, who I think steals the entire movie for me. Like, her character is a really aspiring fashion designer, like I said before. Like, you can tell, and also like the fashion, the fashion dresses that she has, like she makes in this movie, like for drawings and stuff like that. Like, you can tell that she really does have a love for fashion and like what she wants to make for fashion. Like, you can tell that she really has a love for that, and she has like an aspiring love for like 1960s fashion, not just 1960s fashion, but also 1960s music, which I also got to say, the soundtrack is great. Great soundtrack. I really did love the soundtrack to Last Night in Soho. The soundtrack is top notch. Maybe one of the best soundtracks of the year, if not the best. And getting back to Thomasin McKenzie, she steals the entire movie. Like, especially when she's going through those visions of from the 1960s in modern time. That is quite an accomplishment from Edgar Wright, like I said. But I gotta say, she did a phenomenal job in this film. I really cannot commend her enough for this film. And maybe she might get a recognition from the Academy. Like, this is my favorite performance by an actress all year long. Like, no joke, you guys. She did a phenomenal job in this film. So I really have to commend Thomasin McKenzie for that. And also, she also was one of my favorite parts of M. Night Shyamalan's Old from this year. I really feel like she is proving herself this year that she really can act. But also, honestly, when it comes to the characters that she's played, like, in recent memory, I don't see Thomasin McKenzie. Like, I see the person that she's playing as a real person. Like, I know that may sound very cliche to say, but I'm just saying, like, the way that I see Thomasin McKenzie in this film as Ellie, like, I really see her as, like, a real person. But obviously, this is all, like, a murder in the past and a mystery in the future. All that type of good stuff for this film. But Thomasin McKenzie, you have to be commended for this, from me. This is probably your best performance by far. Honestly, I cannot wait to see what she does next. Anya Taylor-Joy also as Sandy. Like, when she does her song in this film later on in the movie, like, which you should know that it is in the soundtrack for this film. So go check out the Last Night in Soho soundtrack. She does a great job in this movie as well. And also the way she does her song with her singing voice sounds absolutely stunning with this movie. Like, it sounds great. Like, and basically, this movie has a great mystery behind it. Great, like, some really good twists and turns. Some really, really great editing techniques. And also some great directing techniques, obviously, from Edgar Wright. The writing is such... Oh my god, this script is amazing. Like, I cannot praise Last Night in Soho enough. I really do not have any, like, big complaints about this film. Not even any nitpicks. Like, this is just an Edgar Wright masterpiece right here. Now, this is not going to beat Scott Pilgrim for me personally. This is not going to beat Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like, for me personally. But what I think this film will do is become a cult classic in the near future. And why did you guys have to let it bomb at the box office? Why? People that let this movie bomb at the box office, you guys are... Oh my god. You really should have seen this movie. Honestly, you guys really should have taken your time to go see this movie. It is definitely so worthy of your time. If you missed it in theaters, it's available to rent for right now on iTunes, YouTube, Vudu, anything like that. Please watch and support Last Night in Soho. It is absolutely worth your time and possibly, right now, my favorite film of 2021. And you guys already guessed, Last Night in Soho deserves my highest grade of an A+. My new favorite film of 2021, it is tied right now with The Suicide Squad. But maybe when I rewatch The Suicide Squad, and then maybe around, like, you know, by the end of 2021 or something like that, maybe they will be swapped. But we shall see. I am thinking about putting The Suicide Squad back as my favorite movie of the year. But I want to rewatch that film first before I can really solidify if this is my favorite film of 2021 or if The Suicide Squad is my favorite film of 2021. But we will see how that goes. So, but obviously, this is my fair opinion on take of Last Night in Soho. What did you guys think of the film? Sound it out in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the film. Do you guys, like, love it as much as I do? Do you despise it? And also, what is your favorite Edgar Wright film? Leave it down in the comments below. I love talking about movies with you guys. So make sure you also hit that subscribe button down below and click on that notification bell. Click on all so you get notified of every single video I upload from the channel. It's completely free for you guys. And also hit that thumbs up as well. That's very beneficial to help me get this content out there because I love creating this stuff for you guys. So guys, y'all are awesome. So make sure you stay tuned for more content hitting the channel very, very soon. I got a review coming up for Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I am super duper excited to talk about with you guys. Oh man. Man, oh man. But seriously, y'all are the best. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys want to see more content from me, make sure you subscribe. See you next time.